Good afternoon and welcome to our conversation with Aaron Castleberry on Blazer News Network. My name is JC Green and I'm a senior at Valley View High School. Today we are joined in conversation with Aaron Castleberry from KAIT. I would like to thank all of our viewers and in-house student workers right now for tuning in. The purpose of our interview today is to really get to know our local media professionals in a more down-to-earth way. So just kind of getting started, let's look back at your path to where you are now. What was it like growing up in Desert, Arkansas?
So Desert, Arkansas is a small, itty-bitty town.
Yes.
There's about 2,000 people there. I graduated from Desert High School in 2010, and growing up, very slow life, a very slow pace. You know, you go to school with the same people you went to school with for 13 years.
Yeah.
You see the same faces. I graduated with 44 people, so very, very tiny, but very close knit. You know everybody, and everybody know who you are. And one of the coolest things is going back home, and people are like, I'm so glad that you are living your dream, because
you found like your niche right there.
Yes, and it all goes back to Desert. It goes back to my hometown, the people who believed in me, the people who raised me, and things like that.
Alrighty. How did you know you wanted to be a meteorologist? Like, what led you that way?
So, I have wanted to be a meteorologist, a television meteorologist, because there's all different types of meteorologists. I've always wanted to be a television meteorologist. I've wanted to be one since I was 6 years old. So, most meteorologists that you see on TV or you see on the internet, it's not something most of the time. Now there are some exceptions, but most of the time it's a bug that they catch real young in life. So mine goes back to a tornado outbreak that happened here in Arkansas in 1999. So way back in the 1900s. If you believe it, I was born in the 1900s. Crazy, right?
It's ancient.
I know. We didn't have cell phones when I was little, so I digress. So back in 1999, there was a tornado outbreak in January. It was the largest tornado outbreak to this day in Arkansas state history. There were 56 tornadoes that struck the state.
56 in 1 year?
In one day.
One day.
In one evening. Started in the evening of January 21st of 1999, and it went into the early morning hours of January 22nd.
I thought our big one just a few years ago was crazy. That is insane.
Crazy, right? So, got to remember, I'm 6 years old.
Yes.
6 years old. I remember, so my dad worked the night shift, and my cousin's dad, so my uncle, worked the night shift. So it was my mother, my little brother, and I, my aunt, or my two cousins. We were at their house that night because it was getting bad, so we just wanted to be together.
Huddle up and stay safe.
And I just remember, so back in the day, they would say, go open up all the windows. Keep the house from exploding.
The wind go through,
So I remember my aunt opening all the windows in her house. And then I also remember huddling in the hallway of their house and hearing the tornado sirens all night long. Well, a few days later is when I learned, 30 minutes from my hometown, the town of Beebe, Arkansas.
Yes.
They were hit by a F3 tornado, and it destroyed a good portion of that town. And we would go to Beebe all the time just to go to we knew people there and everything. So you go and you see that destruction. While it was scary and everything, it intrigued me. And from that point on, I was like, I want to be a meteorologist.
I want to be the person I was watching that. Okay.
Yeah, so I stuck with that from the time I was 6 years old in the first grade until now. So most of the time, and that's a lot of the times you hear stories like that. You hear from meteorologists that it was a tornado outbreak, or it was a big snowstorm. Or I went to school with a lot of kids at Mississippi State.
Yes.
I went to college with a lot of kids from New Orleans, and they lived through Hurricane Katrina. So that was their event that really got them hooked in the weather. So it's usually something big like that
really takes you. Okay. Well, what was it like attending Mississippi State?
It was the best 4.5 years of my life. I guess I said 4.5 because I needed that extra semester.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a little bit of
You
fun.
have to enjoy it a little bit longer. That's okay.
You know, and going from a small town, a town of 2,000 people, to a school with a population at the school of 20,000.
Yeah, that's a bit of a jump.
That's a huge difference, and you get to meet when you live in small towns, you see like the same people. You don't see like a bunch of variety. I went to Mississippi State and met all kinds of different people: rich people, poor people, people from different countries, people from different just backgrounds and things, and it was so much fun. Also being 4.5 hours away from from home.
Yeah. You could travel back, but you had like your freedom there.
Yeah, you have your freedom there, but and you learn a lot of stuff when you. I think I know a lot of people around here go to Arkansas State.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine, but also I think going away for a little bit doesn't hurt either.
Yes, absolutely. How long do you think it took you to get to where you are today?
Well, if you look back to when I was 6 years old. Oh, let me do the math.
Making you do math just live.
That's 25 years.
Yes.
From 6 years old to now. But I got to KAIT in 2016. And I didn't get on TV until 2019. And then I didn't get my first real full-time meteorology position until 2020. 2021 or 22.
Yeah.
I think it was 2021, so the end of 2021 going into 22. So my road isn't traditional.
It's just been a long path
It's been a long path. A lot of people, when they get into, not just the TV business, but in general, getting into the real world, in your mind, you have this plan in your mind, and it's this straight path.
Yeah.
Never a straight path. So just to give you a little background on how I started at KAIT part-time as an associate producer. So basically I was hired to edit video and write for the web. That was in January of 2016. In October 2016, I was promoted to a news producer.
Okay.
So I went from editing to actually writing newscasts. And then from then until about 2019 when I got my first chance to be on television as a fill-in meteorologist. So that's 3 years.
Yeah.
There was 3 years right there where I was behind the scenes doing writing television.
Now you can do just about anything they ask you to.
Oh, I can do anything but direct the show.
I
probably.
can make my own show as long as you direct it for me.
Exactly. So then in 2020, in March of 2020, I signed my first on-air contract as a reporter.
Yes.
So I went from associate producer to a reporter right when the Jonesboro tornado hit.
Oh, so you were fresh.
So my first severe weather event was the Jonesboro tornado. And my actual reporting contract did not start until a week after that. So in the first week of April.
Yes.
Well, the tornado hit, and they said, okay, now we got to get you in here now. Yeah. So the day after the tornado, I was out shooting stories, and starting my reporting career.
All around, yeah.
All around. And then from there, I became the weekend meteorologist. And now I grace everybody's TV for good or for bad.
Yeah. But hey, you're
4:30 in the morning.
Alrighty. What would you say your favorite part of working in media is?
My favorite part is really meeting the people. Because for better or for worse, whenever you are a face, there's a face that you see every day, Monday through Friday. People, it's going to sound crazy. I've had people tell me this. And they go, this is going to sound crazy. But they're like, I wake up with you in my bedroom every morning. Sounds crazy. They have the TV on. have the TV on. So they wake up and I'm one of the first people they see on the news in the morning, and I help them start their day. And a lot of people, when they see you like that, you just become part of the family.
Yeah.
You really people will act like they know you, and they'll come up to you, they'll talk to you like they've known your entire life, and I like that. I do. I like that. I like when people come and
very personal.
Yes. Come and talk, and we can have a conversation, and that's the fun part. Not so fun part sometimes answering some of those emails that you get, but you don't get many of those. But especially in a place like Jonesboro in Northeast Arkansas, people are very kind. They will they embrace everybody, and it's so fun to just go out and you go to the grocery store, and sometimes you might think, I don't want to go to the store. I don't want to run into anybody. But you can run into people and have a good conversation. Like, oh, that wasn't too bad. Yeah.
You gotta put on like some sunglasses, like a cap. You don't want to be recognized, like superhero style.
I told a student a while ago. They're like, I see you on TV. I said, no, that's my evil twin.
It's my clone. Yeah. Alrighty. Do you ever have to do any problem solving on set? Like, what might you have to do there? Like, just lie there?
There is 100,000 different things that can go wrong on live television. So one of my biggest problems is I have a mic on. I have a mic on for 3 hours a day.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to leave the studio. You may have to go to the restroom or something. So you just click that. You
gotta
turn the mute on.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you forget it. You go on, you start talking, you get somebody in your ear, they're like, you're muted, so you gotta reach back. My earpiece plugged in. Sometimes the battery goes out.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if we're in long, severe weather coverage, haven't had to do this yet, but it probably will come eventually. Sometimes you have to change out your batteries. If you've been there 4 or 5 hours, batteries only last so long. Sometimes, like yesterday, one of my computer screens that just did not work, but nobody at home knew that.
Yes, you just had to keep going.
Because you just got to keep on going. There's some mornings where, on the green screen, I have a monitor in front of me and 2 monitors on the side. There's some days one monitor may get inadvertently turned off as people are going around turning off other monitors throughout, because we have several monitors that need to be turned off. And sometimes I get up there and I look to the side, it's a blank screen, like, all right, we gotta sit right here and talk, and
we're doing some improv
here. So just little things like that. Sometimes we have maybe a guest that comes in and something is wrong with their mic or something. So the anchors at the desk, most of the time they don't have as much freedom as I do, because they're telling the news. They're right there in front of the camera. Yeah. A lot longer. I have more freedom to get up and let me run over to the control room and grab batteries, or let me grab a new microphone and things like that. So, sometimes it's me helping out one of the anchors. Maybe their prompter remote goes out, so I need to run and grab a prompter remote. So there's a million different things that most people will never see.
Yeah, but being solved behind the scenes, I understand that. What would you say your favorite part of working at KIT is? Just what are some of your favorite things?
My coworkers.
That's a big part.
Yes, we are real big on a family kind of atmosphere, because we get a lot of people who aren't from here. We've got several people that are from Jonesboro, Northeast Arkansas, but one of our newest reporters is from Buffalo, New York.
Oh.
So
that's a very large leap right there.
She picked up her and her daughter and moved down here for a job, and that has to be hard. That has to, you're from New York and you're coming down to the middle of the country in the South.
Yes, absolutely.
So just trying to hey, we're a family here. If you need something, come to us, come to me, come to somebody, we'll help you out. And that's just something that we just try to foster there, is this family atmosphere, because there are a lot of people that aren't from here, and then there are a lot of people from here, so they can help out a little bit more. They may be able to, hey, this is a great place to live, or here's a great place to eat, or something like that.
Absolutely. How do you feel like being on camera has changed your life, impacted your life?
More people notice me.
Yes.
More people notice me. It's real hard to go out anywhere. I could be in Jonesboro, or I could be in Paragould or Pocahontas, or Blytheville somewhere, and someone's going to know who I am.
Yes.
When I go home, if I go to like Little Rock, nobody knows who I am down there. So it's kind of a little fun. Like give that, I can walk through the mall down here and nobody knows who I am.
Oh yeah.
But you get in front of the camera and you do it every day, you're going to get noticed anywhere and everywhere. And that is probably the biggest change. Another change is you get in front of the camera so many times, you got to try to lose some. Well, I was told you got to try to lose some of your country accent.
Oh. Okay.
Because it can be very strong at some times. So you got to draw that in. You got to reel that in a little bit. You got to
put the reporter voice on.
You got to put the reporter voice on, and it's nowadays. I don't know. I don't know when it comes on and goes off. Like once I get in front of the camera, it's just automatically on.
Yes.
Once I get off the camera, the country bumpkin comes out.
I love that. Do you feel like you've had to work towards anything being on camera, or did it just come natural to you?
Well, yes and yes. There was a lot of, especially in the beginning. So, you get up there and the biggest thing that a lot of people have to deal with is trying to find their breathing. Yeah. So, you got to know when to take a breath, or you got to know how loud you can get because the louder you get, the more air that you expel. Yes. You lose your breath a little bit quicker than that. So it's just trying to figure that out, because in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, you can go back and watch some of the first times I was on TV. I get to go and at some point like
just take that big breath
try
in.
not to die.
Yes.
So that's probably one of the biggest things, working in front of the camera now, getting to in front of the camera. That was a lot of work, because there was a lot of you got to work on your voice, you got to work on your tone, you got to work on your delivery,
everything.
You got to work on all of that beforehand before you can get on TV. And once you do it several times, it just eventually comes naturally.
Do you feel like you have any more goals or ambitions in working in media or being a meteorologist? What more do you want to accomplish?
I would love to be a chief one day.
Yes.
Chief meteorologist one day. I would actually like to become a news director one day, to lead a newsroom, because I think my background's unique. Because I've done a lot of stuff in a newsroom.
Yes, and all the running parts.
I know all the running parts. I've seen a lot of different things, and I think I want to help other people. I want to help newsrooms grow and things like that. And I also want to, encourage younger people, because our industry seems like a dying industry. You don't see as many people going into it nowadays. But I think that trend can be reversed, because a lot of people just hear the negativity with it. Yeah. And there's a lot of positives with it. There's a lot of self-fulfillment with it. There's a lot. There's still an avenue for journalists. There is still a place for journalists, and we need good journalists in this country. Always. Just to, we are there to help the little people and hold the powerful accountable. And, if that goes away, then the little people will get stepped on, and the powerful will get more powerful. Absolutely. And there's no check there. So I want to make it to where, yes, there are things in our industry that need to change. There are a lot of things that are headed in the right direction that a lot of people don't see, but in the bigger and greater scheme of things, it's going to make the industry much better. And I want to be at the forefront of that. I want to see a renaissance. And journalism
yes.
and media like that.
Yes. Well, it's a very honorable job y'all are doing. And Aaron, I'd like to thank you for coming to our interview and our viewers as well.
Had a great time. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to hear that. Well, this has been an interview with Aaron Castleberry. Thank y'all so much.